So the birthing ball is a great piece of equipment to buy in your kind of earlier stages of pregnancy, and then you can use it all throughout, and you can also use it during labour. If you have a home birth, you will obviously have the one at home. Midwife-led units have them, as do some labour wards. And actually in a hospital, you tend to get a half ball, so it's sort of fixed to the ground, but you still get the same effect. It probably just means you actually feel a little bit safer. If you are over 5'8", I would suggest going for a 75 centimetre ball. If you are under 5'8", then a 65 centimetre ball is ideal for you. So the reason I suggest it throughout pregnancy is that often in our lives nowadays, we're quite sedentary. We get in our car, we drive to the office, or we sit on the tube. We sit there all day, then we come home and we kind of tend to flop down into our sofa. What that means is that the way we kind of are sitting is that the sort of heaviest part of the baby's head is sort of inching towards the heaviest part of where we're sat, which accounts for probably an increase in back-to-back babies. So the ball is a really useful piece of equipment to have. So you can use it instead of your office chair. Sit on it in the evening while you're kind of sat watching something on Netflix. And what it does, it's really protective for your lower back. So it really helps support your lower back, which is a lot of women kind of get complaints in that area during pregnancy. It also helps to stabilise your pelvis, and it also keeps you sitting nice and tall. So you're really helping baby stay in that optimal, get in the optimal fetal position that they need to for labour and birth. Lots of things that you can do on the ball. I often think, and I often see, and from my own experience, it's sort of maybe it's something you do in the sort of earlier labour, particularly at home, maybe when your surges, your contractions are kind of fairly far apart, but you're just able to kind of make lots of kind of subtle movements on it that are going to really help baby find their best possible fit when all the sort of twists and turns that they have to make as they make their exit into the world. So sitting on the ball, you've got a nice spread in your sit bones, feet are flat on the floor, you want your shoulders kind of nice and relaxed so you're not kind of holding any tension here. And you can just start by drawing small circles on the ball. And this is something you can do later pregnancy, as well as during labour, which is what we are focusing on now. So just those small circles, going one way and then the other, remembering all the twists and turns baby has to make. So just these subtle movements will really help and assist baby doing that. Remembering that the whole of labour, the whole of birth is this beautiful dance between you and your baby and your hormones, and you're all helping each other, helping to facilitate baby's journey into the world. So you have your circles, and then you can tilt the pelvis. So just a slight rocking backwards and forwards, just the subtlest of movement. So I'm just literally moving the pelvis backwards and forwards. And as you go back, your sacrum lifts. So all of these positions, everything I'm showing you, you're never on your back, you're never restricting the sacrum. Always able to move, always upright, always forward. And then you can just take it side to side. Again, your hands can be wherever they fall instinctively. And it is just that very soft, very gentle movement. And it's something, like if you're sat on the ball at home, if you're sat on the ball in the hospital, your partner can kind of just remind you, maybe do a few circles or rock side to side. But I do tend to think, and I do notice that women often do it quite instinctively. Nobody ever really just sits on the ball and stays still. So another position that you can do with the ball, and it's very much tied in with that kind of instinctive all fours position that a lot of women do get into during labour and birth. So you can do it over the ball. And again, I think maybe this is quite a nice one, maybe quite early on, or even later on actually. It really does depend on what your instinct tells you, and that's different for every woman. So you're kind of coming into an all fours position, but you're leaning over the ball. So you're sort of in like a cat position. That's kind of what we sometimes call all fours. It's very important to remember to protect your knees. If this is a position you really like and you're in this for quite a while, knees can get very sore and red if they're not looked after. And it's the same for the partner. If the partner is there and they are massaging your lower back or they are stroking your back, it's really important that they're comfortable as well, because if you're in this position for a long time, then they're going to be in this position for a long time as well. If you're in this position and you are somebody that wants to be kind of touched during your labour, then your partner can come and massage the lower back. So it's a really good kind of position for them to be in, to have full access to your lower back. What you want is to kind of, it's quite nice to have pressure, sort of massage or light touch to the sacrum area where a lot of sensation is felt. So the nerve endings from the uterus sit behind the sacrum. So sometimes kind of adding a counter pressure during a surge can be quite a nice relief for a woman. And there's also access to the back, so you can stroke up the back, up and down the back, whatever just feels nice for you. I will do lots of tips at the end for partners, but one of the main things is if you are not being told something, then what you're doing is probably right. So another position you can do on the ball with your partner is have them sitting on the ball, and you come in between their legs, remembering to have something to kneel on to protect those knees. And then you come to leaning into your partner. And again, they've got that full access to your back. So they can stroke your back, add light touch massage to your shoulders, or actually not do anything, just have their hands on their own legs, but you are just able to lean in, be close to your partner, know that they are supporting you, breathing together, that non-verbal communication.